this could be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, do they have any abilities in our world, or are they just like need to find a job? Like, I don't know.
He's applying at Baskin Robbins. Like,
Yeah, they're like, oh, nothing works here. Welcome back to the Cinema Clubhouse podcast. I am Travis.
and I'm Will.
And today, Will, we're going to be talking about summer movies.
Love it.
Love it. I love summer. I love movies. When you combine them together, it's just magic.
Yeah, giving everyone a little summer movie preview.
That's right. We're going to talk about the ones we're most excited to see. Movies that maybe, piqued our interest when we saw some trailers. And yeah, let's just get into it, Will. Let's just talk about these movies that are just upcoming that we're so ready to see.
Let's do it, Travis. Kick us off.
I'll kick us off. I'm going to kick us off by cheating because as I have done in the past, I bend the rules that we set up.
Dirty cheater.
Well, I'm sorry, Will. No, the first movie I'm talking about, not technically a summer movie, comes out in a week or so, but that is Sinners.
Yep.
Yeah. So that one I'm probably maybe second most overall for the whole year to see.
Wow.
Yeah. I love a good vampire movie, Will. I'm a sucker for vampires.
Sucker.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. And again, you're cheating a little bit. I feel like once we get toward the end of April, it's like movies that the studios didn't believe would be big blockbuster hits.
Right.
Want to compete with the Marvels and the...
Right. Well, you never want to have to go up against a Marvel movie if you don't have to.
Yeah.
And, a couple weeks before, that's fine. So a pre-summer movie.
Yeah.
But it's right there. But no, this one, it looks awesome. Everything I've seen, the premise is great. I was piqued immediately when I read, I heard about this movie a while ago.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Michael B. Jordan in a vampire movie?
Okay. Ryan Coogler directing.
Yeah. I'm in.
He's one of those where I see he's on the bill like, okay.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but sign me up.
Sign me up.
So usually I do know what it is. Usually it's Black Panther or Creed.
But yeah. But, and again, team up with Michael B. Jordan as usual.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be disappointed in this one. Everything I've seen looks super cool. I think it's going to be, something we quite haven't seen.
He's going to give us some new lore.
I think so.
It's not going to be like you said, the same kind of.
Yeah.
We're going to have some little twist on it that we haven't seen.
Yeah. So that one is top of my list to see. So I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We don't have to wait too long to see that.
That's good.
This one actually does come out in the summer, or at least the movie summer.
Typical Will, following the rules.
Got to follow the rules. I'm kind of a rule body. I'm going to go with Karate Kid Legends.
Very good.
Comes out in May.
Yep.
Kind of the tail end of May. Karate Kid. Love the Karate Kid franchise. Special thing about this one, it brings kind of the two Karate Kid universes together. Yeah. You got Ralph Macchio's Danny LaRusso, and then you got Mr. Han.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan from not really the reboot, kind of the reboot. They were trying to reboot it, but
yeah,
really excited to see those two worlds combine.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think we haven't had a movie that kind of fit the Karate Kid mold in a while.
Yeah,
like nothing really filled those shoes.
Who better to fit that mold than the Karate Kid?
I mean, no one better than the Karate Kid himself.
Yeah, really excited for this one, especially being a huge Cobra Kai fan. I don't know if they're gonna connect it like within the story at all. From what I'm hearing, maybe like not at all.
Yeah.
But kind of holding out hope there's at least a mention or something within the movie. But
yeah.
No, I really love the whole franchise. This might be a hot take. I think the Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith Karate Kid is the best film in the series.
Yeah.
I just thought
I mean, gosh, Will, coming out and just.
I know, hitting with the hot takes already. But yeah, I thought the martial arts in that one was more realistic. Had a real emotional core like the first Karate Kid did, but. Yeah, just really excited to see what they do with this one. For the trailer so far, it looks good. It looks like the Karate Kid that they got is going to be.
That one should be a lot of fun. It should. I'm excited to see that one too.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge I never watched Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Karate Kid was fine.
Yeah.
I was never like, oh yeah, like it was never like in my top anything.
That's
but
fair.
it exists, and I saw it, and I'm like, there it is.
You know, I never was like a huge Karate Kid fan until Cobra Kai.
Okay, so maybe Cobra Kai gives it new life.
It gives it new life.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
Check it out.
All right, that's a good one, Will. Yeah, that's a good one. A legit summer movie.
A legit summer
Yeah.
movie.
All right, I like it. All right, my next one. Now, I said Sinners was my most. This one is like right there.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
The final
reckoning, not Death Reckoning Part 2.
Final.
The final.
The final reckoning.
What if it was called the Final Reckoning Part 1?
That'd be something.
I love all the Mission Impossible movies. I do think they are going to end it here. Maybe.
Meaning what?
I think Ethan's going to die.
Wow.
I think he has. I don't think you can end a character like this without death. Like, something will always bring him back in.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only way.
The marketing is definitely playing into that.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that's not what's going to happen.
It's probably not. It'll probably be, Batman, where he's like, he didn't actually die.
Yeah. I just don't know that Tom Cruise would let that be it.
Yeah,
but
maybe not.
Maybe he shocks us.
I think it'd be good for the story. I think it'd be good. Like I said, I feel like you have to close it out officially.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome. I love all of the Mission Impossible movies, and this one, I mean, from what I've seen, has everything that you would want in a Mission Impossible movie. So
yeah, I mean, we've talked fairly extensively about Mission Impossible on other episodes.
Yeah,
might be my favorite film franchise,
mm-hmm.
or at least action franchise.
Yeah,
but yeah, this one definitely is on my list too. Near the top, if not the top.
Yeah.
Just one of those series where any given day, one of the movies in the series is my favorite.
Yeah.
Depending on when I watch it.
Yeah. Honestly, depending on which one you're watching, that's probably your favorite at the time.
Yeah, but I hope this one hits a little harder than the last one did. I loved Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, it did kind of. I don't know. It felt like a lot was going on.
Yeah,
but it didn't it didn't feel like there were stakes to me with Ethan. Like, it felt like
with Ethan.
Well, it's just like plot armor. Like, it felt like I'm not worried about you. This one I am.
Yeah,
and it could be because they're marketed in that way, but
right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope. I don't know what they all had to change, because I know this was supposed to be part two of that one, and since part one did not do very well at the box office, I don't know if they changed any story aspects, so we'll see. But for a Mission Impossible movie, it looks like that's what it is, so I'm excited to see it.
Yep, I can't wait for that one. All right, let's do another one.
Okay.
Another one I'm really excited about, and this is gonna sound a little crazy.
I'm ready, Will.
Megan 2.0.
Okay, you're right. It sounds crazy.
The first Megan was a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Originally when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, okay,
yeah,
AI doll,
yeah, creepy dancing AI doll.
But the movie was way better than it had any right to be.
I agree. It definitely was way better than you initially thought it would be.
It was a January release, so you're kind of like, this one is probably going to be crap.
Yeah, in January, you're like, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of was a viral trend with the dance.
Yeah,
and, they did a really good job marketing the movie too.
Yeah.
But what's got me really excited about this one, having just seen the new trailer they dropped for it, they're basically doing a Terminator 2 kind of thing with the Megan.
Nice.
So it's she's not necessarily the good robot, but she's the robot that's
she's
on
definitely
our
not
side.
the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. But it just got me really pumped for it. I was anticipating it, and I went from anticipating to excited.
Well, that's what a good trailer does, right?
Yeah.
You know about the movie, and then the trailer enhances what you thought you knew,
Yeah.
and makes you intrigued. And so, yeah, that's exciting. if they play it kind of like that the whole time, I think that it would work really well for it.
It's a franchise I didn't know that I wanted,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, give me.
Give me it.
Give it.
Sign me up for the Megan 3.0.
Yeah. So I think that'll be a sleeper hit
I think
of
so.
the summer.
I think so.
Like they know what they've got. That they're
Well,
really,
yeah, the first one did a lot better than they thought to. I think
Yeah.
they were like, whatever we get, it is what it is.
And I think it's Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
So like
But yeah, no, they did a really good job marketing the movie and really leaning into what it is.
Yeah.
And I think the success from the first one will carry over.
Yeah.
And especially if you do something like that with the storyline, I think it'll be a fun movie for sure.
Yeah.
Regardless, the first one was fun, and again, like you said, a pleasant surprise. It was.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. On paper, this looked like it could have been the worst thing I've ever
Train wreck.
seen.
Yeah.
And it definitely was not.
No.
So, yeah, that's a good one. Well, definitely not one I thought would be on your list as, in the top of the most anticipated. But I understand why. I get it. All right. All right. One of the last movies I'm going to talk about, most excited to see.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four.
Sure.
We've waited a long time for Fantastic Four, and Marvel has as well.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're finally get to do what they've been wanting to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Leading into Doomsday, I think this movie is going to have a lot implications of what's going to happen in Doomsday.
Yeah, it's going to be very important.
Yeah,
they've had two cracks at Fantastic Four up to this point.
Yep.
The first version resonated okay with people, but it wasn't like,
well, and it was in the early 2000s where they were still trying to figure out what superhero movies were.
Should be.
And they had X-Men and Spider-Man, and they were doing really well. Branching out of that super, comic book style and making it more grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Those ones were okay. I definitely remember liking the first one when it came out a lot.
Yeah.
I was a lot younger.
It was fun.
But the second one,
Yeah.
I think I've seen it a couple times, and it doesn't really stick out. I feel like they tried to just fit too much into the second one, as most movies
Usually
do.
how sequels go.
Yeah. But no, this one looks awesome. It's got a great cast. It's going to be different. I like that it's set in in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be
or an alternate.
An alternate
retro,
2025 that is
retro,
the 60s.
retro future kind of thing.
But yeah, I think it's going to be super impactful to the rest of the MCU. Yeah. So this movie is super important. So like, there's a lot riding on it.
And I like that they've held back on the marketing to this point. Like, they gave us that first trailer, which didn't really
do anything.
I feel like show you much.
Yeah.
But cast looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for Pedro Pascal to have his like leading role.
Yep.
He's about to have a big year.
He's about to have a huge year.
Yeah. Huge like year and a half really.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, since Mando hit, he's kind of been the go-to guy for a lot of things, and it's good to see him get in a leading role in a movie of this scale.
Yeah.
Definitely deserving of it. I think it's gonna be great. But I'm really excited. My dad has always loved the Fantastic Four. His favorite superheroes, and so
the first family.
Yeah.
Of Marvel.
Yeah, and I'm excited. This one fits in line with like stuff that he loved about the original comics. So.
And I love that the WandaVision director is doing.
Yeah.
Already has a successful post Endgame project.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be so impactful to the whole MCU and super exciting to kind of give us a glimpse of where it's going. Sue Storm is pregnant in the movie, is what the rumors are, and I think their kid is going to lead into what Secret Wars is going to be. So
interesting.
I'm excited for all that to come. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how everything's setting up.
Yeah.
Like, again, we talked before that we seem like Marvel's been waiting, kind of just tried to release stuff until they can get to the Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Yeah.
And we're getting the first step of that.
Yeah.
First step.
Oh,
come on. We write our own jokes here at Cinema Clubhouse. I know that's so surprising. But no, I that one I'm super excited to see. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna bring Marvel back to what we used to know. I think
That's what they're hoping.
I think it will.
Yeah.
But
It should be the
if it
turning
doesn't,
point.
then who knows?
Yeah. Really looking forward to that too.
Yep.
One more I'll throw out. Most anticipated again. Kind of throwing curveballs at you.
All right. Well, I'm ready.
You're hitting me with the tent poles here.
I'm hitting the ones that make you thought we were gonna hear, and then Will's
Yeah.
like, you know what? What about the ones you didn't think of hearing?
One that just recently got a little bit of its first promotion for. Coming out toward the tail end of summer.
Okay.
Where, you start to see we're past all the tent poles. Now it's kind of more what they're hoping will be like the sleeper hits. Like,
yeah.
Hope these kind of give us one last spark before the deadness of September.
Yeah.
The last one I'm going to mention is the remake or maybe reboot of The Naked Gun.
You're right, Will. I wasn't ready. I was not ready.
This is another one. Like I said, until recently, it was on my radar because of who was behind it, but hadn't seen anything of it, so I didn't know what it would be.
Yeah.
But Akiva, forget his last name, but of the Lonely Island crew. Is going to be directing it.
That's great.
That already had me on board.
Yeah, that's already enough.
Then you have Liam Neeson taking on the lead role of Frank Drebin from oh god, I'm blanking on the original actor's name. It'll come to me later.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah, but super excited.
Sorry.
Super excited for that.
Yep.
Love a good spoof movie. Akiva's got a track record with Hot Rod and Pop Star.
Yeah.
Like, been waiting for the next kind of team up. Andy Samberg's going to show up in this in some fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know how that is yet because there's very little marketing for it at this point.
But yeah, getting another comedy from these guys, we've talked how much we love Hot Rod. And yeah, Pop Star is also fantastic. So this and to get it kind of a established IP to kind of try your hand at.
Yeah,
I like that. I'm intrigued by that.
I don't think anyone was asking for another Naked Gun
until they see this.
But again, the
sometimes we get things we don't ask for. Will,
I know. Most of the time.
Most of the time, pretty much every movie that gets announced, we're like, "Did we ask for this?"
Yeah, but no. Again, kind of an out of left field pick on that one.
Very.
But I feel like we're getting less and less like hit comedies during the summer than we like used to get. I feel like every summer we used to get at least one or two.
Yeah, they've kind of pulled back in the summer months.
It's become more about the superhero movies, the big tent pole.
When I get it, you don't want to release your movie when you got a Fantastic Four. Like nobody's gonna come see your movie.
Yeah,
I get it, but yeah, it's good to mix them in though.
Yeah,
because I think of comedy in the summer. Like you're gonna go see a comedy movie in the summer. So yeah, it'll be a nice change of pace to get one that probably be pretty big.
Yeah.
The teaser looks really funny.
Yeah, I don't know how big of a hit it'll be.
I mean,
but
in the realm of a comedy movie, probably pretty.
If it has good word of mouth, which hopefully it does.
Yeah. August
is usually a good month to have those kind of sleeper comedies come out where it's that last. They don't need to make $400 million to make a profit. Like it'll do well enough based on word of mouth to be profitable.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll get more Naked Guns.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, your list is definitely. I wouldn't have thought of it, but
yeah.
Hey, that's what this is about, right?
Yeah.
Talk about movies that maybe you didn't know. We didn't know were coming this summer.
We're putting it on your radar.
That's what we do here. We put things on your radar you didn't know you needed.
Yeah.
That's exciting, Will. Let's talk about some other ones that maybe aren't as anticipated, but kind of we're intrigued by.
We don't know.
Yeah.
There's not enough information yet.
Yeah, like we're intrigued by the idea, but not gonna be maybe rushing to see it. But still intriguing. I'll lead us off on that one. First one I want to talk about is F1 with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That one, it seems like it could be really good. I've always intrigued by the world of Formula One racing. It's crazy, and this, from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be pretty intense.
Yeah.
I love a good Brad Pitt movie.
And I forget who's directing it. He was the same guy that did Top Gun Maverick,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So it could have that, kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It looks good though. It's not one that, a ton of people are probably going to rush to see.
Yeah.
But I like a good sports, movie. It's a good, sports drama. So
And
I don't know. It's not the top of my list to go see, but it does look intriguing.
yeah, not top of my list either, but I am intrigued by it. We did just get a trailer for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those I had heard about, but before the trailer, I didn't know what the movie would be.
Right.
And the setup is interesting with like him sort of having to partner with the new, Brad Pitt's kind of the old guard, but kind of brought back into the fold to mentor this new kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. I think it's gonna be a lot of, pretty intense racing, and visually it looks stunning. So
yeah,
that one intrigues me.
Yeah, it's on my list too. I definitely will see it. But yeah, again, one that we got a little bit of information for so far, but
yeah,
who knows?
Not everything yet. Well, we don't want too much.
Yeah, don't give us too much.
Maybe that's all you give us. That's fine.
We'll tease.
You've intrigued us. We'll figure it out.
That's all it needs to do. No, that's good. One I'll bring up is one that I don't think we've gotten any promotion for yet, or we might have gotten like a teaser, like a real teaser, like not even like a teaser trailer, just like a glimpse, but
like a logo.
yeah, but I'm gonna bring up The Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan directing, Tom Hiddleston starring, among other
enough said.
Other cast. Yeah. Another one of those kind of like you mentioned, like Sinners with Ryan Coogler earlier. If Mike Flanagan's name is behind it, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
I don't care.
Like, the dude does not miss. I don't think I've really seen any of his stuff where I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like, no, it's all. He's definitely, to me, the most interesting person in the horror kind of genre. And his stuff is very, I don't know, it's different.
Yeah.
And very character driven.
And what's interesting about this one is it's not a horror movie.
Right.
Like, this is the first kind of movie he's done that isn't in the horror genre.
Yeah, it's based on his Stephen King story.
It's still based on Stephen King. Yeah, Mike Flanagan still loves to do him some Stephen King, but yeah, it's, again, it hasn't worked with Tom Hiddleston before. Really, really curious to see what their partnership looks like. The fact that it's not a horror is interesting, but I mean, Stephen King's done.
Yeah, I mean,
has great stories that aren't horror too. Shawshank.
Yeah,
yes,
I mean, yeah, he can do other stories, and they're still really good. But no, this one is definitely intriguing to me.
Yeah, again, know nothing about it.
Yeah,
we just know who's behind
what
it.
we said is what we know, basically. And
so far, Mike Flanagan hasn't missed for me.
Yeah, he hasn't missed for me either. So I'm in.
Yeah,
and he has a good track record and a good,
And it won last year. It won the audience award at I think the Toronto Film Festival.
Wow. Beat
Beat out a bunch of movies that were like contending for the Oscars that year. Like, so it's on people's radar.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be a surprise big hit for him.
I don't know if it'll be a hit.
Well, for him.
I think critically maybe.
Yeah. And again, a lot of his stuff, recently hasn't really had like theatrical runs because he's been doing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So he's been straight to streaming. So
the last movie he did was Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, which I love.
Also Stephen King.
But no, it's gonna be great. It's a formula that works. Stephen King, Mike Flanagan. Yeah, enough said.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one's good. There's a couple more I want to talk about. One that I'm like, I want to be more excited. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time.
I did not know that, Travis.
It is. I love the Jurassic World. I just love it so much. Not all the movies are hits, but they're all entertaining. I want this one to take me back to like the original feeling.
Yeah.
Jurassic World kind of did that.
Yeah.
It quickly got off track though. So I would like this one to, and again, I don't know if it's a reboot, continuation. I don't really know a lot about it.
Yeah.
I know very little.
Seems like it's a continuation.
It seems like since you called it World.
Right.
I don't know though. So, but I am intrigued. I think it's got a formula to work, but again, I don't really know. I want to be excited about it. So I'm intrigued by it because I love the Jurassic World.
Yeah. It's got a good cast.
Yeah.
This is one I wouldn't necessarily put under the category of intrigued for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like you. Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
One of those movies that, when you think of perfect film.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like you, I liked the reboot Jurassic World. Thought it pretty much went downhill from there, like you said. So Jurassic World Rebirth kind of falls under the I hope it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want it to be good. I want to love it.
Yeah, I want it to be popular like Jurassic World so we can get excited about it again.
But I still have kind of that
bitter taste
in my mouth from the last two.
Yeah. Yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my other one I'm intrigued by. Hope to love, but just I don't know.
Fingers crossed on that.
Fingers crossed.
All right, my next one is one I know literally nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
I know the director behind it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Another late summer movie coming out, I think in August.
Uh-huh.
The movie is called Weapons.
Okay.
Again, plot details, I don't know much about it, but it's by the same director that did Barbarian.
Okay.
So that should kind of tell you what we're in for.
Yeah.
What to expect in the sense that we don't know what to expect.
That's right.
Barbarian was a movie that I liked it. I didn't love it, but damned if I wasn't like in for the twist.
On the edge of your seat trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those where like, the first like third of the movie you don't know what is about to happen, and then there's the turn. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm expecting with this one.
Yeah.
Again, leaning a little horror. I think this most likely will be a fun time at the movies, like Barbarian was.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the director's name of it. I think it's
the Barbarian director.
It's the Barbarian. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Again, just intrigued by it. Yeah. Could be an utter disaster. Haven't seen any marketing promotional stuff for it, but
well, when you get a movie that has a director that you like, you've liked some of his other stuff.
Yeah.
That's usually enough to intrigue you.
Yeah.
Most average movie fans kind of connect to directors, not just like if it's not a huge IP, I don't know what the heck it is.
Right.
But no, that's intriguing. Barbarian was definitely a kind of a wild ride. I watched that like 2 days before we stayed in the Airbnb over Thanksgiving, and that was scarring.
You checked every door.
Yeah. I was like, open every door, and if there's one that locks, we're leaving.
Nope. It's got a basement. It's got 2 basements.
No, hell no, I'm out. So that didn't help that, but definitely. He's got an interesting style, and if it follows the lines of that, it'll be kind of a wild ride, I think.
Yeah, I barely even know the plot for it. I read it on IMDb earlier. I already forgot, but they're just giving you a basic plot line that doesn't really mean much.
Right.
So it's going to be something with layers.
Oh yeah.
When you have an IMDb plot that's like 2 lines, it's like
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll be good. There's one more that again I'm going to cheat again. Because that's what I do. This one comes out after summer, but I am intrigued by it.
Okay.
I'll allow it. It's the new Tron.
Okay.
I think I love the world of Tron more than I've enjoyed the movies.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what they like the world is, and like visually, I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Movies don't hit as great for me.
Yeah.
They're like whatever. But visually, I love them. So, we just got the first trailer for this one, first poster. It looks pretty sick.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's a cool concept. Like the Tron world is coming to our world.
Yeah.
So, like that to me is intriguing. Like, okay, this could be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, do they have any abilities in our world, or are they just like need to find a job? Like, I don't know.
Is it playing at Baskin Robbins? Like,
Yeah, they're like, oh, nothing works here. But no, that I'm intrigued by that one. It's been pretty like well kept, like what it really is. Like, there's not a ton about it.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot it was coming, honestly, until like the trailer dropped. You're like, oh yeah, this is coming out this year.
Yeah.
So that one intrigues me. Again, I'm not rushing to see it just because so far the movies haven't really like blown me away.
Yeah.
But I want to like it more than I do.
I'm the same.
So I'm always gonna try to. So if there's a new one, I'm gonna try to be like, this is the one that's gonna get me like full fanboy into it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. You know, the original one, little dated at this point. Like but like you said, the world of it is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So for the execution of the movies, for me, like similar to you, have been a little off balance. Like I want to like it more because the world is cool, and so maybe this one will hit.
Yeah.
Coming out of time in the summer, really deep in the summer when the leaves start changing.
That's right. Really deep.
A lot of people might call it fall, but
what do they know?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Jared Leto leading this one, I think leading it.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks cool. Love the concept, bringing Tron to the real world.
Cool concept.
Let's see what they do. I'm
Let's
intrigued.
see.
I'm definitely intrigued.
I'm intrigued, and so hopefully, in my last year, are kind of more hopes that they're good than
Yeah,
but it's enough to intrigue me. So,
I mean, that's what intrigue is, right? Like we don't know anything about these. Like they could be utter disasters.
Yeah.
We want to be excited,
or they
for
could be the dumbest. Like once we actually find out what it is, we see a trailer. Like,
yeah,
that looks rough.
Yeah. All right, Travis.
All right.
I'll let you have that one.
Okay.
Last one I'll bring up is a legacy sequel.
Okay.
Sticking in the horror genre.
Okay.
But this was coming out in the middle of the summer, which is appropriate.
Okay.
Because the title of it is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Well,
but it's coming out this summer, which is confusing.
So I'm confused, Will. Do we already know what happened?
Yeah. Again, this is another one of those.
Is this a reboot or
it is
a continuation?
Supposed to be a continuation of the first two. So I know they did like a kind of direct to video third one at one point.
Yeah.
It's ignoring that.
Okay.
But
as most should.
But Jennifer Love Hewitt coming back.
Okay.
Freddie Prinze Jr. coming back. Haven't seen any promotional stuff for it. I hate that it's called I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
We already have one of those guys.
Especially if it's not a reboot. What are you doing?
Killing me.
You can't do that.
Pulling a Halloween. But yeah, I think the original I Know What You Did Last Summer is really underrated.
Yeah.
Slasher movie. Like
I need to rewatch it. I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah, it's one of those I think kind of gets lost in the shuffle of others from its same era, like your Screams.
Yeah, it came out like early 2000s.
No, it was like 97.
It was in the 90s. Okay.
Yeah. So first one. Well, both movies really have like premier 90s like stars.
Yeah.
I already mentioned Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze.
Right.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was in the first one. Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah.
Felipe. Never say his last name.
Yeah.
The second one had Brandy in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the second one. The second one was a little goofier, but also fun. But I'm excited to go back to the world to see if they have a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe the idea sucks, but
maybe that's why they named it the same thing to hope.
Yeah, they got Jennifer Love Hewitt back on board. They got Freddie Prinze.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. It should have came up with another title, but we'll
Don't
talk
get me
about that.
started.
I want to get
Or
you started.
get me started.
That could be taken the wrong way.
I know. But yeah, that's the other one I want. I want to be excited for, but I need to reserve my excitement because I could very well be disappointed.
You could be hurt by your excitement.
I don't want to be let down, Travis.
Well, I know, and a lot of these, like we see a title, and initially we just want to be like, let's geek out and go all in on this, but we know what can happen,
right?
And that's why reserved emotions is good for these until we know more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's a good list. There's some good movies coming out.
Yeah, hopefully put some more on people's radar.
Yeah, there's a lot that's coming out. That we didn't talk about, but these ones are the ones we're kind of excited to see or intrigued by. So,
do you have some other honorable mentions that we didn't get to?
Not really. Again, some of mine fall outside of the summer because I feel like a lot of good ones are coming out in April.
Yeah,
good movies are coming out in April. I am kind of intrigued by The Fountain of Youth. The Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
Kind of Indiana Jones feeling. That's gonna be an Apple TV movie, so I get skeptical with straight to streaming movies. They haven't always been the best. So but I do love Guy Ritchie. So
I'm excited for that one. It give me an Indiana Jones style adventure. Hopefully it's good. Guy Ritchie has a pretty decent track record. So
so I'm intrigued by that one. But again, the straight to streaming, a little reserved.
There's a couple other streaming movies on my radar. I mean, we've got the long-awaited Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, true.
I have pretty low expectations for it.
I
hope to be proven wrong.
Yeah. Well, historically, when it comes to comedy, sequels are tough.
Yeah.
They're really tough when you wait as long as this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, is what made that great.
Plus, Adam Sandler's track record with comedies in recent years hasn't been the best.
No, it has not. So, yeah, I want to be more excited than I am. I'm just going to let that one kind of come out and get a feel for it before I'm not going to be like, oh, it's out, let's go watch it necessarily. But
what about the other Marvel movie of the summer, Thunderbolts?
I don't know. I'm not personally excited about it.
Thunderbolts asterisk.
What
is the asterisk, Travis?
I don't know.
I'm dying to know, Travis.
Maybe it's going to be Thunderbolt by the end of it.
That would be so funny. It's like
they all die except
one survivor, and the end credits just like takes the S away.
It turns to dust.
Oh, I want that to happen now.
I mean, it could.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. That's one that like was never on. Like, I hope they make this in Marvel. Yeah. And it kind of seems like the Great Value Avengers. And I don't know. I'm not excited for that.
But I think they're leaning into that though.
They might be. And it could be, I could be completely wrong, but like that's one that I was like, yeah, I'll probably skip that Marvel one.
Yeah.
To be honest. So I don't know. And it seems weird that they're leading the summer off with that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's bigger than I thought. I mean, obviously they've all been confirmed in Doomsday, so maybe the story is important. But it seems like the story wouldn't be important. Like it could just be a thing to fill.
I mean, when they were kind of doing some reshuffling around with projects a year or two ago, like they could have taken that one off the docket and they didn't.
Right.
So obviously there's got
something
some plans.
There. But again, that's kind of how I felt about Guardians of the Galaxy when it first got announced. Like I was like, this does not seem like a right decision.
Names.
Yeah, now they're good. I don't think it's going to have that level of effect on me. Like, wow, that really blew my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm not really excited for it because that's one that I just was like, ever since it got announced, I was like, oh, that. I looked at the list like that'll be the worst one. I've always said that about it every time, so I'm just like, I don't know.
What about another superhero movie? What about the superhero, Superman?
The Superman. All right, I'll tell you again. Will, I'm not a huge fan of Superman. He's a very hard character to make not cheesy.
Yeah,
and even the most recent one we got, like, he's just a character that's kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, there's always this element of like it's goofy.
You're talking about Man of Steel?
Yes, I am. Superman, the Man of Steel is cheesy.
Don't come at us, Snyder Bros.
Hey, I'm not saying I thought the movie was cheesy. I'm saying the character is kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
No matter how you present him, he's still kind of cheesy. This one was definitely the most grounded and like, okay, you feel like, all right, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge Superman fan. James Gunn, to me, is a little overrated. And so, yes, I enjoyed Guardians. I do think it gets more hype than it actually is. Like, people lost their minds over it. Like, it did really blow my mind.
But you just talked about how much you love it,
Travis. No, I'm saying I was a surprise. I'm saying it's overhyped. Like, they act like it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And so he's riding that, and I'm just not a huge James Gunn fan. And so I'm worried that, like, him in charge of something, he might lean into make it too goofy, make it too silly. Like, Guardians works being that because the characters, their dynamics are it makes it funnier.
Right.
But I don't know if Superman can have that kind of humor and still be a Superman, you know? So I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm a little skeptical. I do have a little bit more faith in James Gunn, I think, than you do.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely, from the promotional stuff so far, leaning heavily into all the comic booky type stuff, which, you know, some people are already freaking out about costumes and
well, I mean, it doesn't matter what. Anybody could take charge and do Superman, and it's going to be destroyed.
But I'm excited for Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Nick Holt as Lex Luthor is an inspired choice, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it could be really good. Again, I'm just not a huge Superman fan, so those are never on the top of my superhero movie lists.
Right.
I just don't enjoy the character that much. So,
gotcha.
I do think Man of Steel was good.
Yeah,
it was definitely better than I thought it would be. But I wasn't like, oh heck yeah, we finally did it, DC. Right. But I'm hoping it goes good, because if that one goes bad, then fearful for DC again. Like, we're just never.
Yeah.
And there's lots of good DC stories I want to see on the big screen, and you know, fleshed out in, you know, a connected universe that is kind of planned out.
Right.
So I'm hoping it does good for that sake, because otherwise we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, or just be like, Marvel's just gonna buy DC and they're gonna do it.
Marvel buys DC.
Marvel buys
the
DC.
Ultimate twist. Yeah,
yes,
that's funny.
Or Disney just buys and say, guys, we'll take it from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big movies coming out this year.
Yeah, we touched base on a lot of them. There's still a lot we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, summer movie season, my favorite.
It's a great season. I'm
looking forward to this year. But what about you guys? What movies did we miss that you're excited about? What movies that we talked about are you're like, I can skip that one? Let us know down in the comments what you're looking forward to. While you're down there, to leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and then come back for another Cinema Clubhouse podcast.